Good morning, everyone. General Hand Grenade here. Well, I've been on night shift for the last couple of weeks. I do that. I go on night shift for 2 weeks, and then I go on day shift for 2 weeks, and then nights for 2 weeks, and days for 2 weeks. And it takes a bit out of you, especially at the time during the shift change. Anyway, so I'm done with night shift for a while. It's not too bad though. I mean, you get off work at 12:30 at night. It usually takes a couple hours to get to bed and get to sleep though. I like to come home and sit on the computer or watch some TV or something, just to wind down after the night. The good thing is you don't have to set your alarm in the morning, but the bad thing is you got to keep changing over from one shift to the other. But whatever, I have a good job and so I'm pretty happy about that. Well, I looking outside here and there's no snow on the ground yet, but it's getting close. You can tell, when you have to start scraping your windows off and thinking about changing from summer tires to winter tires. And I know some of you people that are down in the south or Florida, places like that, Texas or whatever, you're thinking, what? What do you mean scrape your windows? We have these things called scrapers, and there's ice on your window when you go out to start your vehicle in the morning or whenever, and you have to scrape them off. You can't see where you're going. And yes, we do have winter tires. They got better treads on them. And mine actually have little metal studs on them as well because I live up north and so winter lasts a long time it seems. We joke that we have two seasons in Canada. There's summer and then there's hockey season. And hockey season lasts most of the year. Summer lasts a couple months up here anyway. Some places, even in my province, they're like Vancouver, they hardly get any snow. And when they do, they're just like a bunch of idiots down there trying to drive. I've been down there when it snows, and oh my God, yeah. Just imagine if you tried to drive for the first time in snow, how well you do. Up here, though, I mean, when we learn how to drive, we learn how to drive in snow too, right? It's not a big deal. Usually, what we do is we go to an empty parking lot on a Sunday morning or something, and just go wee, and just start sliding around and everything, and just try you get yourself out of control on purpose so that you can learn how to bring your vehicle into control while you're on snow and ice, and you do it when there's nobody around, so that you don't freak out when you're on the road and you're trying to learn how to drive like that. Anyway, we're getting close. You can tell. You can taste it in the air, and the crispness that snow is almost here. And time to hunker down for another long winter. And I guess that means another long winter of Axis and Allies. I got a new play group together, and things are going well. And one of the guys, he's so excited. He's texted me last night. He wants to know um, how what dimension my board is. He's gonna get a new board made up, and he's already got got HBG their website, and he's ordering stuff from them and everything. So that's cool. It's good to see somebody else has got the bug in town here, and that I have somebody to play the game with. And there's some other guys too, so that's great. Um, so what's going on in the community? Let me see. Well, I heard from Detroit recently. He's doing well, and baby's doing well. He's been so busy lately. You can imagine with having a newborn how busy you'd be. But also, he's got work too, and he's been taking extra courses so that he can get a better job within what he does. I think he's a police officer. So I'm not sure what the next step is for him, but you do have to get a bit more of education to do that. So he's been, trying to play Axis and Allies, but he's got all this other stuff on the side, and I wish him well. It's great to hear from him once in a while. What else? I talked to Grasshopper the other night on the phone. He called me just as I was getting into the lunchroom at work there. We talked a little bit about stuff, and I won't tell you about our private conversations, but I always enjoy my calls with him. Like it could last 5 minutes, it could last 2.5 hours. You just never know. You just start raving on about life, the universe, and mechanized infantry, right? It just starts, and you never know when it's going to end. Usually it ends when one of us, really has to go now. Seriously, I gotta go. Uh, but yeah, I enjoy conversations with him, and I haven't talked with Sired much. He texted me. Was it last weekend? No, I think it was the weekend before. He texted me, and he was going to try out a new strategy, and so I can't wait to hear how that went. Usually, like he likes to try it out a few times before he'll tell you about it, right? Because he likes to refine it and everything. Is he doesn't want to tell you what the idea is until he's got it down, and then he's ready to reveal it to you. So that's cool. He hasn't been on much though. I think that what his plan was to do some more of his woodworking and things like that, and a little less of the YouTubing stuff. We'll see though. See what he comes out with next. He's supposed to be building a cigar box. You'd think he'd be done that by now, but who knows? I mean, we all have lives outside of our little hobby here. So, what else is happening in the community? Hunter Jones, haven't seen you too much of it lately, buddy. I watched your video the other day. That was cool. Seeing you again. Yeah, you need a shave. But yeah, he's doing a one of those question and answer videos again. So that's neat. I'm glad to hear that school's going well and that you made it to your first midterm exams and you still haven't quit yet. That's good. Stay in school, otherwise you'll have to work like a dog like I had to my whole life. Definitely get as much education as you can now because it's you'll look back 20 years from now and say, man, I'm sure glad I stayed in school. It's way better than what I do now. You'll see people that went to school and you didn't, and the difference in your lives is unbelievable. So get as much education as you can and live at your parents' house as long as you can, and then move out when you're ready. Anyway, it's good to see that you're going that route. And I look forward to meeting you hopefully at the next Grasshopper Invitational. What else? Um, I've been talking with Doug at Historical Board Gaming lately. He's reached out to various members of the community. Um, and if you know much about historical board gaming, that they have their own games like the Global War games and the America game, and a lot of their focus is on those games and developing them as they should be. But they wanted to know more, what more they could do for the Axis and Allies community, and so they've been reaching out to a few of us. I'm not sure who else, and I wouldn't say even if I did. I mean, that's between them, right? I know I'm one of those people though, and it's always good to talk to him. We had a couple of long conversations, emailing back and forth a couple times a day, and long phone conversations, and just basically what they wanted to know is what more could they do for the Access and Allies community in any way, in any capacity. And so what I've been focusing on, and I don't know about the others, but what I've been focusing on is products that I'd like to see, or the way products are grouped. Like you can buy this and you can buy this and you can buy this, but that's what I did. Like I made so many orders and bought this and then this, and why not just put them all together? So I was telling them, okay, this is what I think. Like for this game, you need this and this and this and this and this and this. Put them all together and sell them that way. So people don't have to make 30 orders from you. They can just make one big order, right? So I think he's going to do something like that. I think he's going to put some stuff together. Also, he asked, like what else and what other kind of things can he do? And there was something that I've been looking for a certain type of marker, and I haven't been able to find it. He has some markers there, and they might have been okay, and I've been looking at other sites and things like Litco and things like that, but their markers aren't exactly what I was looking for. I had in my mind specifically what I wanted, and so he said, "Well, let's just design one then." And so he did a whole bunch of them, and then he emailed them to me, pictures of them, of what his designs were, and I said, "Yeah, that one. That's exactly what I'm looking for." And I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but I think that it'll be out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully within 2 weeks, I think. He's going to, like, he's already sent them, he's designed them and sent them away to the manufacturer, and he's expecting delivery of them. And when they come out, then you'll see. I'm not going to tell you what they are because it's not my business, right? That's his business. And when he wants you to know what he's doing, then he'll let you know. It's not up to me to tell you. But hopefully he'll send me some and I'll make a video of them for you. But it's exactly what I'm looking for anyway, and I think that you'll be pleased with them too. It's an addition that for your Axis and Allies game that Some people are like I've seen other people they've done makeshift things and stuff and you know that's neat and everything, but to have something that looks professional, you know, like a really cool thing that you can use, that's going to be neat. One of the things that I will tell you that he is expecting delivery from very soon. You know those coasters that he sends you, the drink coasters, um, from all the different nations in Global 40. I use those to put my money on because I'm using the money, the the poker chip style of money, and so it fits on those really well. I use them as a mobilization zone. Anyway, I've been trying to find a print shop that'll print Anzac coasters and France coasters and China coasters because he doesn't have those. Anyway, so he's I told him that's what I want, and he said, "Well, I've already ordered those." So hopefully those will be in really soon, and I'm going to order some of those too because I call them banks. That's my bank. I put my money on them, and you know that's what I use them for, right? So that'll be nice to get those. Um, Hopefully they'll be in soon. Um, and so there's a couple other things that he's developing as well that I don't want to say, but man, they're going to be good when they come out. That's for sure. And they're geared towards the Axis and Allies community. You could use them for both games, of course, because they're so similar. But definitely really good for the Axis and Allies game. I noticed I keep looking in the um, like the games that they have there for what do they call it? The expansion sets because I'd like to use the expansion sets with Axis and Allies, but most of them don't transfer over very well. I did a transformation for the American Minorities at War, and that worked out really well for the Global 40 game. But you know, like there's one there that it's New Berlin or something, and there's Atlanta, what is it, Antarctica. I mean, there is no Antarctica in the Global 40 game, so you can't really use that, right? For an example. Um, but I noticed one that just came out, and there's no details on it yet, but it looks like something that you could adapt, and it's the elite German units. I just seen that yesterday for the first time, so that looks really cool. Um, I can't wait to see what that one's all about. To see if I can adapt that for my Global 40 game. Another one that I'm looking at seriously that I can adapt is the secret submarine bases. I think that that would be neat because I've also now I've got the full set of seaplanes. I've been trying to get. It takes a long time to get them because you get them from several different places, and it gets kind of expensive. But the seaplanes, um, they're like the little float plane things. They, I didn't think that they'd be that useful once I started getting them and started reading up about them and everything. But then I thought, well, if I combined them with the secret submarine bases, you know, into one big role, so it could be seaplanes and secret submarine bases, that looks like something that would be a really cool way to play the game. And I don't think I'd throw in a whole bunch of other rules because it would be a little bit complicated, I think, to do that. Um, so I don't think you'd want to introduce like 10 rules into a game unless you had a gaming group that you played with all the time and they were all familiar with the rules that you already had, the house rules. But I think that that would be really neat to have where you know like a secret submarine base pops up in a specific area, right? Like I'd make up a chart and everything about where you know you roll the dice and so a German base pops up in this country here, right? And then develop some rules along those lines and things like that. I think that would be neat. What else? I was just watching a video just before this GI Joe with his flight stands. Those are great flight stands that War Torn put out. Um, with the clear base and everything. I'd never worked with magnets before, so if you watch my thing on how to put the magnets on there, don't don't do it that way. Do it the way that War Torn shows you. He Grasshopper did a video and War Torn was on there and he showed you. And you know it wasn't wrong how I glued them on there. What was wrong was the polarity. I I couldn't get in my mind how I should do that. But then when he showed it, it's like, oh, well, that yeah, duh, right? But I didn't get it. So I'm thinking about ripping the magnets off of my planes, and redoing that. And it wouldn't be hard. I mean, I've already got the planes are all ready to put the magnets on them and everything. The flight stands. It's just a matter of just doing the gluing. But just so that they'd be interchangeable. Because as it is now, half the planes, will stick to half the stands, right? But you don't know which ones are which, and that's probably not a big deal because I've got enough flight stands for my whole game, right? But if I wanted to take them off and store them and things like that, then that does get into an issue. And plus, I like doing stuff like that. That's part of the attraction of the hobby for me is collecting pieces and painting them and gluing magnets onto them and things like that. Just something to do, right? For me, Axis and Allies is not just about the game itself, playing the game. I mean, that's the fun part of it, right? The most fun part of it is playing the game. But that's not all of it for me. For me, it's finding the right map and going and developing it and finding the right material and talking to the guy at the store about it and everything and just doing all the scheming and everything that it takes to put together a wicked ass Axis and Allies game, and that includes the flight stands and all the little markers and everything, and um, searching the internet for this and that, and finding something, and oh, this would be cool, and to me that's half the fun is all that stuff. And so I don't mind ripping the magnets off them and starting over again. It's not like I'd have to start from scratch because I've already got the holes drilled and the things that you need to drill holes in. If you watch GI Joe's video this morning that he put out this morning, then you know that you don't have to drill holes in all of them. And I discovered that as well when I was doing it. If you don't have to drill the holes, then don't. If you can possibly stick that magnet on there, the magnets are so small that you don't have to embed them. You know what I mean? It's not like you're hiding them or anything. You're not going to see them on the underside of your planes, even if you stick them to the outside of them. So the best thing you can do is to glue them directly to the plane without making a hole if you can. But not all planes you can do that to. Some of them are just too round. There's just no way of gluing that. And what else is going on? axisandallies.org. Yeah, we had a lot of interesting things happen over there lately. I kind of lost my temper a couple of weeks ago. When I got home from work on a Friday, it was the last weekend, I think. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, there's just been a bunch of crap going on there lately. Um, but the administrator Jensen came along, and he's laid down some new rules, and so I like that. Like there's places on the internet you can go to act like that. There's lots of places. There's something for everything out there, but this isn't the site for that kind of thing, right? This is a site where we go to exchange ideas, and like we don't want to be trolled. Um, we don't need somebody acting like they're something that they're not. Just be yourself. We're just a bunch of guys that have a hobby, and we like to play this game that we all have this passion for. We don't need all that extra crap, right? It's one thing to be funny. I mean, I try to be humorous when I'm there too, but it's another thing just to completely act like you're like something that you're not, you know, like you're some kind of character or something. You're not. Like my name is General Hand Grenade on there, but I'm not a general with a hand grenade. That's just my name on there. Like you can see me. I'm sitting right here. Like this is the guy that I am, and this is when I write things on axisandallies.org. I write it in this voice. I don't try to pretend that I'm a general driving around in a tank with a hand grenade, hucking it at people. It's just stupid. But there are sites on the internet where you can act like that. I remember one time I Googled something. It was like 2 years ago or something. And I Googled something. It had nothing to do with Axis and Allies, of course, but it was something else. It doesn't matter what it was. But I really wanted to find out the answer to this one question. And so I just kept going, like page after page after page in Google. And I think I got to the 14th page, and I clicked on this one thing, right? And what was there just freaked me right out. It was, I somehow managed to get on the dark web, um, this one site, and it was a site where criminals would come together. So it was a site like Axis, or axisandallies.org, right? Like it had forums, and it was this topic and that topic and everything, and you had your own little name, and that you put in stuff. But um, it was a place where criminals would meet, right? Okay, I need somebody to do this part of a job for me, right? And so they would get together on this site, and oh my God, if you think flaming is bad on the sites that you've seen, where people start having spats like these guys, they were threatening each other like you wouldn't believe, right? Like, oh no, I got my gang, and we've got these type of guns, and we're gonna meet you here, and we're gonna shoot your gang, and oh fuck, these guys were just they're yeah, it was unbelievable. Like I got the willies just reading it, but I couldn't stop, so I'd go on to the next topic. And then, like I was probably about 20 minutes into reading what these people were doing. There was this one guy on there. Everybody knew he was a cop, right? He pretending that he was a criminal, and everybody would laugh at him and call him names and everything and tell him to go fuck himself and stuff. It was hilarious, right? But anyway, I got about 20 minutes in, and I thought, oh my God, do these people know? Can they tell what my IP address is? So it kind of freaked me out. So I turned my computer off and I walked away, and I sat there, and I got up and went and locked my door. Like there's a site for everything out there. So, if you want to act like that, then go find one of those other sites and stuff, and let us do our little hobby here, right? But anyway, so long story short, the administrator came back and he told us kids to play nice and got rid of some of the accounts that were fake. Like some people had dual accounts or maybe even triple accounts. Who knows? They'd be one person and then they'd be this other person, and that person was not the same as that person, and it was just stupid, right? Just stupid. But yeah, but one thing though, I will tell you, like that has been happening on there lately is there's always been kind of um, it's kind of two sites in one. It is one site, and everything is kind of the same, but there's two different types of games on there, and there's the tabletop, which is what I do, right? You've seen my map and everything, and all the pieces and stuff. That's tabletop Axis and Allies, that you get out of a box and you play on a table. But there's also the computer game. It's called AAA. That's the name of the software is AAA, and so you can play Axis and Allies on your computer, and not just Global 40, but you could play. From what I understand, I've never downloaded the software, but there's dozens and dozens of games on there. Not just the Axis and Allies games, but all kinds of games that you can play on there. But anyway, so there's kind of a separate community in there of people that just go there to play these games, and some of the best Axis and Allies players in the world are on this site. In this league, they have a league there, and the reason that they're so much better, or probably better, I'm guessing they're better than most of the tabletop gamers, is you think about how long it takes you to get together to play a game, right? You have to set it up and you have to call people and they have to make time and then they come over and and okay, you finally we're here and you play the game, and I mean all that takes time, right? Whereas the guys that play in the league, like they'll play 2 3 games at a time, and so they've played hundreds of games, some of these guys. And so when you play that many games, that much repetition, then of course you're going to get really good at a game, right? And you're going to develop strategies and things like that. And so they're ahead of most of us tabletoppers in the strategies that they've developed. Um, and but it's like it's a different type of game, right? It's the same rules and everything, but I was just saying a couple minutes ago about how I like to do all the gluing magnets and getting pieces, and I just to me that I feel so calm inside when I'm playing the game with got that little army men in my hands, and I'm painting pieces and everything. I just love that kind of thing, and that's something that you're not going to get from playing on the computer, but that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with that. Like if all you care about is just playing the game, just and all you want to do is just become a better player, then and the other thing is if you can't find anybody to play against, like you don't know anybody in your town that plays Axis and Allies, then this is a great way to play Axis and Allies. You can play on your computer and play against some of the best players in the world. You don't even need to buy the game, right? You can do it for free, and you can find all kinds of players, and you can exchange strategies and everything like that on axisandallies.org, or just learning them by playing against some of these other players. And so, like if that's something you're interested in, then for sure go and sign up to play AAA on axisandallies.org. But one of the things that's happened this week is one of the guys has decided, like they were saying, like you YouTubers, you should show people our game. Well, how are we going to do that? We don't have the software. Like I could get it, but I'm not interested in that. And it's not just because the reasons that I stated. Like I like playing with the pieces and everything. Um, there's lots of reasons why I don't want to play. And but what I said to them is what you really need to do is have one of you guys start a YouTube channel. you know, because you're passionate about it and I'm not. Like, how much am I going to try to sell your game if I don't really care? I want to play this game, the tabletop version. And so one of the guys, oh, yeah, that's a good idea, right? And so he started a new channel and it's just come out yesterday, and I'm really excited about this. For one thing, he's a really good guy. I played against him in the finals of the Grasshopper Invitational. So I got to know him. We had lunch with him and everything. My partner and I, we sat down with his partner and him, and we had lunch, and then they beat the crap out of us in the finals. They beat us 7-0, and I'm talking about Variance. Variance, an awesome guy. He's from the East Coast, I believe, New Brunswick. Him and his partner, some guy from the West Coast. What was his name? Tarantula or Gargamel or something goofy. Anyway, Variance, really good guy. I gotcha. He's a really good guy, and he's really smart too, and he's a really good player. So I'm excited about this because I've tried to read through, like you can actually read through the game summaries, but man, they're like 20 pages long, and your eyes are going cross-eyed. I find after about the fifth or sixth page, I'm like, what did they buy? Okay, now where did they put it? That's about what it boils down to after about that, reading that much crap, right? So anyway, he's gonna do games on the internet. He's gonna show, like, he's gonna play his game, right, and then he's gonna show it afterwards, the highlights of it and everything, kind of like what we do with the tabletop version. We show, okay, like when we show a game, we show, look what happened here on this turn, right, and we film that part of our board. Well, he's gonna do the same thing on his computer. Plus, I'm hoping that what he will do is show us strategies and everything. Um, because otherwise, I mean, like I said, the only way we could learn their strategies was by trying to wade through pages and pages, and then trying to visualize it in your mind. Like you see all these and everything, but to try to visualize that, is difficult. So. Especially when you're getting cross-eyed from reading so much. So putting it on the computer, this is going to be great. They want to get more players to play, and so he's going to show people how to play the game and everything. And if you want to become a better player, then I recommend that you sign up for this and you start playing. You might get your ass kicked for a while, but eventually you'll get better and better. But if you're just a tabletopper like me and that's all you want to be, then Variance's channel is going to be great. It's called Variance, Axis and Allies, and I think he's planning on showing us a lot of the strategies, and the strategies will change. Like the strategies they used a year ago are now considered obsolete because they found ways to beat that strategy, right? So you'll get the latest strategies and everything. And so what I want you guys to do, and selfishly what I want you to do, because I want this channel to stick around, I want you to go and subscribe to Variance, Axis and Allies. We want to encourage this guy as much as we can, because I've seen other YouTubers come along before where they put out one video or two or three videos and then they stop, right? I don't want this guy to stop. I want to learn the secrets of what's going on. And so I want you to go and subscribe to his channel, and I want you to watch his channel, and I want you to like his videos. I know I'm going to watch every single video he puts out because I want to become a better player, but I don't necessarily want to sign up to play AAA. I want to play tabletop. So sign up to his channel and like his videos and comment and everything, and let's get this guy where he wants to keep going on his channel so that he can unlock the secrets. And who knows, maybe some of the other AAA guys will like his channel and say, hey, I could do that, because that's certainly what happened in the tabletop version of the game. There was Grasshopper, and then there was Hunter Jones, and Detroit was the first one, I believe, and then there was General Hand Grenade, and then there was, and then there was, and then there was, and there's so many of those channels now, and maybe we'll get more and more AAA players who are willing to make YouTube channels, and we'll all become better players. I know I'm certainly going to become a better player if Variance decides to continue with his channel and decides to unlock the secrets for us, so we don't have to go cross-eyed reading all the game summaries. So yeah, go to his channel. I am going to put a link in the description box below the video. That's right down just below the video there, and it'll be a link to his channel. And he's only got one video right now, just showing you where to go to play the game. Um, and it's the anniversary edition that he shows you on the screen, and he goes through it really quick. But it's not a how-to video on. It's just a how-to on how to get there for his first video. Hopefully, he shows us how to play the game and everything like that. So, um, if you're interested in becoming a AAA player, then you will know how to play the game, and you won't seem so intimidated by it. Um, but he just races through the first video just to show you what it's all about. And we'll see what he comes out with after this. It's totally up to him, isn't it, to find out where his channel goes. I think what he's planning on doing, though, from what I said, it seems like, and from what I've seen in the first video, is if, to have the board set up on the tabletop as well. You know, whatever game he's showing you, Global 40 or Anniversary or whatever, and show you on the computer screen what he's doing. But we'll see. I have no idea. I'm pretty excited about it though. So I want you to go subscribe to him so that I can watch his videos. Okay, don't disappoint me. I want you. Anyway, so that's Variance, and I wish him well. Welcome him to the YouTube community, and looking for great content coming out of him in the future. So what else is going on? Well, a lot of people got their I'm just looking at it right now. It's right in front of me here. The anniversary edition. I actually set it up and everything, and it looks really like a really good game. I can't wait to find somebody that's going to play this game with me, um, because it does look like a good game, and it does look like something you can play in a day. To me, it looks like a great game to take to the cabin. My table at the cabin is not big enough for Global 40, and that's a lot of stuff to take out there, right? So this game would be perfect for taking out to the cabin, and on a day when the sun's not shining, when it's raining outside, then you can sit inside and play Axis and Allies, and it's not you're not playing some old crappy version. This actually looks like a really good game. But yeah, there's been a ton of unboxing videos, and it seems like a lot of people, their stuff has been damaged, and you can tell right away when they open their box that they're going to be damaged, because mine came with the roundels and everything on top, and it's really hard cardboard, and it hasn't been punched or anything, right? And it's got the cards and everything, and mine was on top of the very top, and so nothing inside was damaged because that acts as a hard layer, right? Like you could actually knock on that stuff, right? And so nothing below it got damaged, right? But the people they put the cards on the bottom, the hard stuff on the bottom. Well, then everything just kind of got flattened on top, and then what a shame that is for them. Mine was in perfect condition. The only thing that got flattened was the piece that was supposed to get flattened. Like the little cardboard piece that's supposed to keep the box from getting flattened. But yeah, if Wizards of the Coast is ever watching this, or if you ever have a chance to talk to them, tell them to put the cards on top, the punch cards on top, because that saves the rest of the game from getting damaged. Um, but it sounds like they're going to make good on all of it, like they're going to send you replacement parts and stuff like that. But still, what a pain in the ass to have to do that, right? It sucks that some Chinese guy packed it wrong, because that's probably where it was made, and that's they just it's all is just throw the crap in the box. If you throw it in the box in the right order, then it's not going to get damaged. Bottom line. Anyway, what else do I got to say? Um, Not too much, I guess. Just wanted to just sit down and say hi, and I wanted to talk about Variance and his new channel, and talk about a little bit what's going on in the community, and I've done that. So let me just take another drink of my coffee here. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Remembrance Day is coming up soon. Always like to have a really big game on Remembrance Day. I find that um, that's a day that everybody gets off, November 11th. I don't know about the country you live in, but in Canada, Very solemn day in Canada. We all wear poppies and everything, and we go and at 11 o'clock in the morning and we have a moment of silence and things like that. What I've always tried to do is have a big Axis and Allies game on November 11th. That's my way of saluting soldiers, and it's I don't know, it just feels right doing that. And we all have that day off. Like some days, holidays, you get it off or you don't get it off. They'll give you another day, but on Remembrance Day in Canada, you get that day off unless you work at McDonald's or something. We got to eat, right? But everybody gets that day off. Everything shuts down on November 11th, and all the businesses, and not the restaurants and stores, but everything else. Like offices and factories and everything. They all shut down on November 11th, and so that's always a good day to play. And I was going to have a game at my house this year, but as I was saying, a new guy in my play group. He's all excited and he's making up his new table and everything. So we're gonna go play at his house this year, and so that's gonna be exciting. He's I think we're gonna play in his garage. He's got a heated garage, and so it's gonna be lots of space. And I can't wait to see what he does. What kind of table he builds. He's been watching videos and things like that. Grasshopper's table. We talked about that. Him and I between us, and so I'm excited to see what kind of table he comes up with. Um, I'll see if he'll let me film, not the whole game or anything, just showing his table and stuff like that. We'll see. I definitely don't want to whip my camera out at somebody else's house and start taking pictures, right? That would be inappropriate. But if he's okay with that, then I'll show you what his table looks like. If it's finished, I don't know. He's just working on it now, so hopefully he has it done by November 11th, and we're gonna have the big game at his house that day. So looking forward to that, and for all of you out there, I mean, that's always a good day to have that game is on November the 11th. Remembrance Day. Play Axis and Allies. Go do it. So that's all I got today. Um, I got another video I'm gonna make. It's in the Know the Rules series. Um, I thought that was all, but now I got to talk some more. So I realized in the debate this week that when we started talking about transports again on axisandallies.org, that I wasn't entirely correct what I said in my Sneaky Carl video. There was one mistake that I had made. So I'm not sure if I'm going to remake that whole video or if I'm just going to make another video, because there's something that is related to that, and it's about hostile C zones, starting in a hostile C zone, and certainly that's the whole point of doing the Sneaky Carl move is to create a hostile C zone for the Japanese transports. But somebody had asked a question about the same type of thing, building building a Russian destroyer up in Leningrad there and creating a hostile sea zone for the Germans. And so the principle is the same thing, but I had got something wrong, and it had to do with non-combat moves. I had said in the Sneaky Carl video that you could non-combat move after that, and you can't. You absolutely can't non-combat move. You have to move your destroyer or any boats for that matter, transports or anything. You have to move on combat. You can on your combat move, you can either fight whatever's in there or you can flee. But if you decide to stay and say only half your boats fight them and the other, like the transports, don't, well, then the transports can't leave after that on non-combat, because every boat in there is considered in that combat. So even the transports, even though they're not fighting, they can't move on non-combat. So if you're going to move them, you're going to have to move them before on the combat move. And there's a stipulation in there that you can flee if you would like. You can flee all of your boats, or you can flee some of them, and that's when you would want to move your transports. But I'll show all of that in this video that I'm going to make this weekend. I've got some other things to do too, so I don't know if I'm going to do it right away or if I'm going to do it tonight or tomorrow morning or whatever. But that video will come out this weekend for sure. And I'm going to do another video coming up, but probably not for another couple of weeks. I might do some videos before then, but I got one really cool video in mind. and I don't want to tell you what it is because I don't want any of the other YouTubers doing one before I do. But I've got a really good idea on a video that I want to make, and it's something that's never been done, and I think that you're going to like it. I think it's going to be quite useful. Now I'm done. Okay, everybody. Thanks for letting me bend your ear again. That is all about life, the universe, and mechanized infantry. So take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.